What's going on, Knights of Fulcrum? It is me, your boy Gilbert,
And me, Harry.
and it is the Fulcrum Entertainment Podcast, episode 328, and we are back with some Star Wars. It has been a long, what has it been, like a year and a half, almost 2 years since Skeleton Crew?
God, has it been that long? Damn. I mean, we did Visions was the last Star Wars thing I think we got to
That's
speak
right.
about.
That's right. Vision Season 3. I forgot we did that. I remember you not being impressed with it. However, I think that I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we might have a slightly different opinion this time around with this new Star Wars thing. Which I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna say so far I've been enjoying.
Yeah. I don't know. I will definitely say this. It is not bad. Like anyone who comes out and says like Maul is bad is a liar. It's how good it is, I don't know, but it's solid.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would say as far as like animation style, they've got it down. Like story, it's okay so far. I wouldn't say that any of the episodes have been filler or they've been slow. I like the pacing of it so far. It's it's been not bad. And so yeah, we have a lot of episodes to get into. Let me see if I can pull it. There we go. So I guess we'll bust right into it because like I said, we have a long way to go. We have a lot of stuff to be talking about. So the first episode, I want to talk about this actually first, is how the kind of like the style that they have for this new planet. I think it's Janix, they call it. I
Hmm.
really do enjoy how it kind of looks to me like a Blade Runner kind of style of like planet. Maybe like I don't know, like the colors they use, the kind of like the darker like tone, and then also just the way that that it looks. I would say this definitely looks like a like again, it's giving me Blade Runner vibes. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, like full on neon light metropolitan future city. Yeah. It looks gorgeous, and that is definitely something that I think that Star Wars needs to be praised for. They have understood how good the visual style of the Clone Wars was, and have understood that they need to maintain that. And I'm glad that they have. I also love the fact that they do things like Visions and they try different animation styles and different visual looks. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think this, as their sort of calling card style, works. There are some gorgeous shots in this series so far where the I think this that we have on screen is a good example of where the buildings that someone is going to go into are almost just like watercolor paintings. They're so sort of heavily stylized, and I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I think that's them putting their best foot forward for this first scene. Like we have like Maul's like what is it? He's like the last handful of Mandalorians that are like loyal to him pulling off like a bank heist, which I think is kind of cool. I enjoyed this whole opening. I like this droid. I'm trying to get a shot of it. This weird like talking, almost like chopper esque droid that they have. Like I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Like the droid with like the weird disc body.
Yes, yeah. He
It,
writes
this
it.
guy, this guy.
There was one of the small Transformers in the Michael Bay movies. It kind of reminds me of that guy.
Yeah, the thing that like hacked into like the Pentagon and stuff like that. I'm like, that's exactly how I feel about this. Is this guy is like a weird little goofy like monster thing that yeah, like it makes a bunch of noise and talks and stuff, and I kind of enjoyed that. That endeared it to me.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We're going okay, so we're not going to have the cutesy little droid that we have in so many other things. The little droid sidekick that's funny and endearing. This is the little droid equivalent of your Disney villain's sidekick, the henchman.
Yes. This is like the Star Wars Iago.
Yes, excellent.
Like and again, I really enjoy that, and it's also like a new kind of take on it. I think it's cool how Star Wars, every new thing we get gives us a new type of droid. It's not just another astromech, or another C-3PO. We're getting like all these new types of droids, and this is like no exception. It's kind of a cool. I would call it an assassin droid, maybe, but or something like that. But
Yeah,
it's cool. I enjoy it, and it just kind of adds to this whole like bank heist like scene.
definitely.
Anyway, I don't know if they ever give it a name, but I'm sure they will at some point. Let me see here. I also noticed that we have a few like other Zabraks. What are they, like the other like Night Brothers?
Yeah, we do have a few hanging out with them. Yeah, I didn't know going into this because am I right in that a lot of the sort of backstory towards this are things we would have seen in Rebels?
No. So this is
Okay.
actually, I don't believe so. Like this is more like I think the timeline is this takes place like a year or two after Episode 3, after Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
So I think that this is like it's supposed to be referencing a lot of stuff from Clone Wars. Like it references like Savage Opress. Like he talks about my brother was killed, my mother was killed, and like oh they were all killed by the same thing. And yeah, it's like he's basically getting at it was the Jedi or like not the Jedi, the Empire, like Darth Sidious and all of that, like the Sith.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah, he's. I think a lot of it is them talking about Episode 3 stuff or like Clone Wars stuff because he doesn't mention Kenobi at all. He doesn't mention like anything about Ezra Bridger. There's no mention of like holocron, like the trying to find the Sith holocron or anything. Like nothing that was in Rebels, I would say.
Oh, okay.
At least
All
not
right.
yet. Not yet. Because yeah, like he doesn't know. We all just notice he doesn't have like. I mean, so yeah, during this fight, we have them doing their thing, and he like the cops show up, and I do kind of enjoy within the first like 2 minutes they don't like mess around like they bring Darth Maul in, right away, and
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a really
We're
in a
not
really
trying to
cool
bury
way.
the lead in this. We're not going to try and do some big reveal of Darth Maul. Like, no, Darth Maul's here. Although the sting of Duel of the Fates that we got when he was revealed was pretty tasty.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Like that's using the original John Williams like soundtrack at its peak, and it also it. I kind of feel like with scenes like this, like as he gets this scene in the next episode, I think he gets like a his own hallway scene. Like there's multiple scenes in each episode of him like using his lightsaber. I feel like they're trying to make him the new Darth Vader. Like they're trying to like instill the kind of fear, like like when he's on screen, like it's supposed to be a sinister thing.
Hmm.
Like that's just me. Because yeah, like I noticed that like there's a lot of like previous concerns about episodes or about like shows is that they've made like bad guys, oh they're too sympathetic or they're too, like oh they're too good or they make them into good guys. Darth
Hmm.
Maul is not one of those characters.
Oh, interesting. I feel like the show, as we go on, we'll see a much more sympathetic Darth Maul, particularly in his interactions with another character that comes up later.
Maybe. Well, I think I know the character you're talking about, and we'll get to that when we get to that part in the episode. But yeah, no. Speaking of, actually, I think we're just about to get to certain characters because yeah, like after we have them all reveal, like they kill the cops, everything, like the Mandalorians and all the Zabraks and everything, they overwhelm everyone, showing off their strength. We get to see we're introduced to these two, so Devin and I think his name is Taki or Takin or something like that.
Yeah.
Turtle Man. And yeah, and then again, Devin. So who are very clearly like they're hanging out like older man, a younger like ward, and then they're talking about like oh we have to we have to make do for ourselves. We're not thieves. We don't steal. Like he's very much it's very clear who these two are. Like unless you're a child and you're like not familiar with Jedi.
Unless you've never seen a Star Wars thing before.
Yeah, no, I at this point, I gotta keep reminding myself like it's for the kids, because I'm like at this point, who are you fooling? Like it's very clear this dude has a lightsaber on him somewhere. They're gonna have a big lightsaber duel or something. But I also like I like the choice of voice actor. Let me pull that up.
Yeah. I know this actor and I can never remember his name, and I always think of him as just like, oh, he's that guy who was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He was like
Was
the
he in Brooklyn
FBI
Nine?
dude in that.
Oh yeah, okay. I know him as the Allstate commercial guy. Are you in good hands with Allstate? Dennis Haysbert. Yeah, like that's a great choice for it's yeah Master Daki.
Daki, that's it.
And I don't know who they got for Devin. I'm gonna try to see if I can find that. Gideon Adlon. I don't know who that is, but apparently that's the voice actress for Devin.
Interesting.
Good choices. So again, I really like the again, I just said his name a second ago. Goddamn. Dennis. I like Dennis Haysbert. He's really good. And also, there's another voice actor who we get introduced to here in a minute. who I'm sure you recognized right away.
Oh, did I?
Do you not? Do you not know who I'm talking about? We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute.
Is it the droid? Because I know. Yes.
So yeah, we like I'm getting a little ahead of myself. We have like this chick, like he tells her not to steal. She tries to steal some fruit and then gets arrested. And so yeah, like that's kind of like the main conflict with these characters. And then we're introduced to this guy, to the I forget what his name is, but the police captain, the detective, who again reminds me a lot of Deckard. Like the way he's dressed and the way he acts reminds me a lot of like Harrison Ford in Blade Runner.
Oh yeah, you know what? Now you say it, I can see what you mean.
He's definitely like a Deckard kind of character. And then we get Richard Ayoade as the like I noticed that they put him in a lot, in like every episode this droid has lines.
Yeah, and this isn't it's not his first droid role either. He was in The Mandalorian, wasn't he?
Yes, indeed he was. He was one of the bounty hunter droids.
Yeah.
Like he was the bounty hunter droid in that group. And so yeah, but he is Two Boots in this, which cool name. I like it.
Two Boots, yeah.
And yeah, but I noticed that we do have like the main thing of these two, like it kind of got old, I think, is that for the first 4 episodes, these two are just like, we need to call the Empire. No, we're not calling the Empire. But we need to call the Empire. No, we're not calling the, and that's literally just their whole interaction.
I do like that as a conflict that the characters have. The idea that okay, like they're supposed to call the Empire in. The Empire is the big, powerful, thing in the galaxy right now. I really appreciate that. Actually, for a lot of people, they don't want the Empire to show up, even if they're part of the system. Like he's a cop. The cop is kind of part of local government. He is part of the system of control at the moment. But even he's like, no, the galaxy, getting the Empire here is a bad idea, and it would be bad for the entire planet.
I think it's also kind of cool how they add in or it's an interesting character development when they add in like the droid asks the guys like, are you sure it's not just because your wife is with the Empire and you don't want to see her? I'm like, ooh. Like I think that's just a funny thing of hey man, sometimes your wife joins the Empire and you have to like divorce her. You can't be seen walking around with one of them white hats.
You gotta I do have to think sometimes though, there are some things that Two Boots does in particular. I'm like, damn, like why are you taking that from a droid? Like surely we must be able to like stop these droids from being fucking sassy. And like, I ain't taking this shit, man.
I mean, he does in one of the episodes. He does turn him off.
True.
Like he's about to call the Empire, and he's like, nope, and just turns on the off switch. But yeah, but during this whole thing, we find out that like Maul ended up stealing from one of the syndicates, like one of the ex guys that like he used to have, like when during the Clone Wars, he ended up having like what is it, the Black Sun Cartel, like Red Dawn. He had like a bunch of different syndicates under his command, and now like I guess he's on, like we find out he's on a revenge quest to go to murder everybody, or to rather have them murder each other.
Yeah, because I think this was where I was sort of like, when I was coming into this, I was like, okay, I know that I am slightly on the back foot of I think there is at least going to be some of the backstory of this that I am not aware of as someone who never finished Clone Wars. And I knew that there was a bunch of Maul stuff. I think I'm right that there is some Maul stuff in Rebels, right?
No, you're absolutely right. He comes back and hangs, like he tries to make Ezra Bridger his apprentice, and like eventually has his final showdown with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, so this is sort of a mid-quel between these then. Yeah, so I was sort of on the back foot. So some of these things I'm aware of the Syndicate and that he became a criminal, but not the details of it. But I feel like the show does a good job of, if you haven't got all that context, it still makes the story accessible to you. You can get the idea of, okay, bad dealings, he has been mistreated and he's going to take his revenge.
Yeah, like you might be like, again, if you're not like caught up on everything, you might be a little confused of like, why are there Mandalorians with him? Where like, why is he, when did he ever like get involved with gangsters? But again, that's a lot of Clone Wars stuff. Like there's an entire season devoted to Darth Maul, and then also the final season when they do like the Mandalore stuff. like the fall of Mandalore. That's also Darth Maul is there as well.
Okay,
So
right, makes
yeah,
sense.
no, you didn't miss like a whole lot, but yeah, there's just a little bit of context there missing. But at any rate, yeah, it gives you enough to understand, like you said, that yeah, he got involved with some like shady people, and now he's trying to get revenge on them. But yeah, so basically what he does, he tries to yeah, he's trying to turn them against each other, like get them angry enough to where they just attack each other. And even like the lady even says like, why are we messing around with gangsters? Like why don't we, go attack the actual like enemy? Why don't we attack the Empire or something? And he again like a Sith. He was like, no, I want to stay in the shadows for a little while. I want to work against them without them knowing. Like he's
This
and then he also talked about how he like senses that his new apprentice is somewhere on the planet. Well, uh,
this
were you gonna say
lady,
something? Yeah,
this this Mandalorian,
yeah.
is that someone we know, or is this character like brand new for this show?
I don't think so. So I don't know her name exactly. Let me see if I can get a picture right here. Yeah, I don't know her name exactly, but I believe that she was in an episode of the Clone Wars. Like, there's a time where like, what's his name? Darth Maul fights against like the current leader of Mandalore, and like there's like a whole lightsaber fight where he has to fight him and beat him in order to take the dark saber and claim leadership over the Mandalorians.
Right.
At which point, when he does that, Bo-Katan decides like, no, I'm not going to swear allegiance to you. And this is one of the Mandalorians that does swear allegiance to Maul. So I believe she's been seen before, but I don't really know her name. Like I don't know how important she really is. It just kind of shows that she's still like, I guess that some of the original Mandalorians that were with him are still around and kicking.
Okay, yeah, because I was a bit like when I got into this, I heard Richard Iwata is a droid again, and then I saw Asian lady in purple Mandalorian armor, and I was like, damn, we're really doubling up here, aren't we, Dave?
Asian lady in Mandalorian armor.
This is the chick from Ahsoka, right? Like I know it isn't that character, but she's indistinct from that character,
No,
except maybe for a streak of green hair.
Yeah, no, she very much has the same haircut. She's wearing very much the same armor, and I could definitely see someone confusing her for Sabine Wren.
Right? Yeah.
Small Shadow Lord cast. I want to see if I can find her. I think okay, so I think she's Rook cast. That's the character's name, and yeah, so I believe that that you will find her in other like in Rebels and in Clone Wars, but I might be wrong on that. I don't quote me on that one.
Okay.
But at any rate, yeah. So there's one part during this where I think it's hilarious that when she's asking the plan is like, why are we going after the gangsters? Yada, yada, yada. And he kind of gives her like a vague answer. He tells him, bring me the gambling or bring me the management droid, and it's literally like a foot away from him. Like he literally drags it like right there, and it's like, dude, what do you mean bring me the droid? I thought that line was funny.
Yeah, it was in front of you, my guy. It's there, and like he brings it, doesn't do anything by bringing it. It's just sort of like, yeah, I'll just toss it on the floor.
Yeah, and everything he does could have been done by Maul if he just walked over to it himself. But I think that's like that's a total power move to make someone bring you like it's like telling someone to bring you the remote when it's literally within arm's reach of you. But no, that was funny to me. But yeah, I forget exactly what the relevance or what the importance of this droid was, or like why he kept it. I think it was again later on, like he ends up using it to like spark off of a civil war between the two syndicates.
Yeah, yeah. This is all part of his scheme to get them to fight each other, isn't it?
Yeah, his grand plan, which is like needlessly complicated.
But also sort of not complicated because like he sets it up like he's got this bank droid and he's going to use this in order to do something that's like dastardly and will turn them against each other. And I think like the most he does, he just steals the guy's money, and then oh yeah, no, that's a yeah. He sends over the droid's head, and it says, "Oh, he did it," and so they shoot at each
That
other.
that's right. That's right. He's like the droid's like you'll pay, and then he instantly makes it like thinks that yeah okay that's right. We also go over and then back over to the kid who just like I mean she yeah for obvious reasons she doesn't give any answers of like who she is or where she's from or anything like that because obviously she doesn't want to get turned into the Empire. And then they just kind of throw her in a prison cell because she's not being cooperative, and that's kind of just like the most we see of her. They,
Yeah, not doing much, like you say, being an obvious Jedi, refusing to say like her name or anything about her. Like, yeah, because you're a
or even like a
Jedi.
fake name, like you couldn't give a fake name or something.
Now, when they go into the next scene with the bosses, the gang bosses, I do like the little guy in the droid suit. I do quite
That's
enjoy him.
I mean that just kind of makes sense to me. I thought that was really yeah I thought that was cool too. But it's also like why aren't there more like there's a bunch of little alien guys in the world like why aren't there more of them using this technology?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we should, even if it's just like, oh, I only do it to deal with like bigger, like sentience or whatever. We should see it happen way more often. We should see a bunch of Ugnaughts climbing into little mechs.
Exactly, or like an Ewok. I want to see an Ewok rolling around in a mech suit, or like the Yoda species. Like you telling me that none of them have ever thought to themselves, I would really get around better if I had robot legs.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we have them doing like this weird like mob style dinner, and yeah, you're right. They throw in the droid head. I like that. That's kind of like a cool mob thing of like it's like the horse head in the bed kind of thing, but it's a droid head.
Oh yeah, no, good point. Didn't consider it that way.
And yeah, then they all start wiping each other out, and we get and yeah, like I feel like this dude's gonna be important because we get the little guy who like takes out this bigger dude. Like he takes out the other mob boss.
I do love how he takes out the other mob boss. It is cold and just funny, kind of how he does it.
Yeah, like he I mean, again, it's one of those things that just makes sense. He abandons his suit and then gets shot by the other guy. Like or no, he abandons his suit to like as a decoy, and then he shoots the other guy in the back. That's what.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Which
it's
yeah,
it's
that's just a
fun. It's
cool.
clever. It looked like it kept you on your toes. This stuff I thought was really good. Actually, I think the sort of the gangland stuff I'm really enjoying. I just saw you when you were scrubbing through, and we're about to see him. This Zabrak who has his little minigun, and he loves that little minigun so much. He will do anything with
Oh
it. That guy will turn on
yeah,
the TV with his little minigun.
yeah. Oh, hang on. Let me see. Where is the dude with the minigun? I'm trying to find him. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Let me see here. Honestly, I like all of Maul's little cronies and his like his entire little crew. Like it's kind of I think it's kind of cool. It kind of works for me, and it's better than just having a bunch of Mandalorians. I think it's cool to have like a bunch of his like Night Brothers or whatever. There we go. There's the guy.
The Night Brothers do have like the vibe of like backup dancers though. Like the fact that they basically never speak and they just kind of show up in their like little cut off sleeve tank tops and then do things for him without speaking. Just kind of makes me feel of like yeah, like Lady Gaga's backup dancers.
There is one part where I want to talk about it when we get to the next episode. But yeah, there is one part that I feel like I know what they're there for. But yeah, like we have this cool little chase. Like some of them, yeah, we have like the guy with the minigun just laying down fire on this dude. Let me see here. Yeah, the cops like the cops show up, save him, and then he gets thrown in a prison cell. At which point, yeah, Maul makes the plan. He's gonna like break him out and take and go take him. Let me see here. Yeah, yada yada yada. We get to see the again turtle Jedi hanging out in the rain, like because he's a Jedi.
Yeah, Master Oogway was waiting for Poe to get out of prison.
Basically, yeah. Let me see, and then yeah, like again, we have the prison break, which again, you're right. This dude again with his minigun,
I think it's like
right?
there's just one bit where like he does the whole wind up and power up noise to like shoot like 3 bullets to take care of one camera or something at one point, and it's like, man, let someone else deal with it.
Hmm.
I know
Yeah.
that's the loadout that you chose. That's your favorite Call of Duty loadout, and you think it's like your calling card, but like it's just switch to your sidearm sometimes, my dude.
Like, do you not understand though? How many hours he had to grind, and how many codes he had to go find to go unlock the bunker to get that heavy gun? Yeah, no, I agree though. That's funny. The guy seems to be having way too much fun with it, and again, like basically they go in there, they obviously they overwhelm all the droids, and again, Maul has his like, what is it? His like hallway scene, or is that might be in the next episode? But I know
Yeah,
I
I
know
think
he
that's
has a couple. He gets a couple of like again badass scenes with his lightsaber. Let me see here.
yeah, Maul's pretty much always cool. I do like some of the stuff that we see. So the bit where we sort of we're in like Devon's perspective almost,
Yeah,
of him watching him outside of her cell is quite cool. It's quite cool, and like I think it's fun that there is like clearly some sort of draw to him. Like I feel like she feels some sort of pull to pay attention to him, if just because of like she recognizes him as a Force user.
I mean, but also like again, I want to talk about it when we get to that point. But yeah, like when he tells her about being like weak and like, oh, you want to be the savior of the galaxy, but now you're not allowed to. Like your destiny was denied to you. Doesn't that piss you off? Like kind of thing. Like he tries to get her. Like she does kind of like identify with him in a small way because he's running around using his lightsaber, like doing his thing, and kind of just being like he's not afraid of the Empire the way she and her master are.
Yeah.
Or at least he doesn't seem to be. Oh, that's a cool shot. But yeah, so he threatens him. Like the guy tells him like he has more information that he can lead him to other crime bosses. So they take him alive, and then that's when Maul, like sensing again her as a Force user, we get to see him like he opens her cell and then takes her prisoner. Or I guess prisoner is the I don't know. It doesn't really like explain how like I guess yeah prisoner is the right word because I'm like the very next scene we jump into the next episode and like one of the dudes is like holding her over his shoulder while they're climbing away.
Yeah, she's at least brought to his house under duress.
Yeah, because I say prisoner, but I'm like, you are at the end of the day, you are a Jedi. You could use the Force. Like you are, I know you're a Padawan, but come on, kid. Like the Zabraks can't hold you. Maul maybe, but the other guys, come on.
I don't know if it's in the next episode or afterwards, but Maul also does keep going like, "We can leave if you want to," while she's locked in a cage, and be like,
see, like that's where I'm
guy.
at, and I'm like what he's saying is like you could use the Force to like let yourself out and like escape, and I'm like, yeah, that's true. You could. I'm trying to bring up the next episode. My internet's being just a little bit slow with that, so bear with me for a moment. But yeah, so that first episode, interesting. Like I like again, it shows off Maul right away, makes him a badass like almost immediately, and again we're introduced to this new character that a lot of people are saying might be Darth Talon. I don't know how you feel about that theory that Devin might be Darth Talon.
Which one's your motherfuckers always expect me to remember any of this shit, and I don't know what. Which one's Darth Talon?
She's from the the what's it EU, the extended trilogy, the extended universe stuff. She's
Right,
like basically
okay.
she was Maul. Yeah, so in the books, she's Maul's like apprentice that like he survives past the Clone Wars or whatever and starts training her, and I guess she becomes like another Sith Lord. But I forget what her ultimate like fate is, but she'll see her every now and then at Comic Cons. She's the red Twi'lek with like lightsabers and like who wears a bikini instead of like actual Sith robe.
Yes, I have. Yeah, okay. I have seen.
You have seen Darth Talon.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Like, I've certainly never seen Darth Talon in this sort of context.
Yeah, no. In this particular case, this is a child, so I don't know if we're going that way. But people are saying like it's Darth Talon. She's gonna be Darth Talon because she's a Twi'lek and he wants her to be his apprentice.
Right.
And
okay.
I'm like,
that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. I can see that.
So yeah, we start like again, like I kind of like the pacing of this because it starts off like immediately the next episode of them, and again the guy with the fucking with the
He's just like, I am using it, god damn it.
to the point where he almost shoots Maul.
Yeah, it's no, he uses that thing in situations that are insane to ever use a weapon like that.
I mean, it's effective, I guess, but yeah, he just keeps on using it in like really close quarters, and it's insane. But the point is, I like the pacing of this. I like how it doesn't be like, oh, she's captured, and then like a week later, and now they're back on the ship or something. That it's they're still in the prison having to escape, and to her credit, she almost did escape. She just got stunned by this guy. Let me see here.
Yeah, who I quite like. Where I think the first couple of episodes I watched, I didn't have subtitles on, and then I switched to a different device, and subtitles were on there. And
Nice.
I didn't realize that he has actual lines, like he's actually saying things when he's making his weird little noises.
Yeah, like, oh, the police. Oh, there we go, or some shit like that. He's like, he actually is talking, and I'm like, again endears it, like, as I usually watch this with subtitles on, just in case, like, if I miss something, or if I want to, like, I can't hear the line as well. So, but yeah, no, I think that's really great that Spybot apparently is his name. Yeah, I like that he actually talks. So yeah, we get like they escape, they get away from the police. Let me see here. I think this like I think the second or is it the third episode that we find that okay, yeah, the second episode is where she actually escapes from her cell by the end. Let me see here. So yeah, we have a police chase. They're running. It's pretty by the numbers, but again, it's kind of cool. It's cool animation, and it's enjoyable. And again, it kind of shows just like how badass his team is, being like small.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. They make all the action in this. They make it work, and I do appreciate it.
And then I also enjoy like this whole part where like they cause a bunch of like damage, and then the dude Master Master Daki. He ends up like using the force, and like, because again it's meant to be like kind of a big reveal for if you're not aware of this, but it's just cool to see him like. Oh, sorry, my dog is freaking out. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, this is where he has to use his powers to help with the walkway. And I think there is like a moment in this, if you're in the chat and you notice as well, there's a real close call with the cop. The cop like sort of acts like he didn't notice. Potentially he actually did, and because we see later on that he definitely isn't sympathetic towards this moment right here. He doesn't like call him out on it, and that moment of him going, "Hey, are you okay?" It's interesting to see. It suggests this whole thing of something that I feel we don't necessarily see in Star Wars represented that much, that it's quite possible that you would go your life without ever seeing a Jedi. Yeah, the galaxy's a big place.
I guess. I mean, I would like to know how far. Like, all right, that brings up an interesting question. We'll take this away just for a second. I'd like to know how far away Janix is from like Coruscant, because I honestly thought this was Coruscant until they said, "Oh, we're on Janix." I thought this was just another area of Coruscant, because that's where they usually go.
Yeah,
but
it does look like it.
How far away is Janix from like the core and stuff like that? Because I feel like the further you get to, or the closer you get to Coruscant, the more people know about the Jedi. Because this dude, even says like, "Oh, he has a laser sword." I'm like, dude, I haven't seen one of those since the Clone Wars. I'm like, you mean like a year ago when Jedi were prominent and like all over the freaking place?
It's good you mentioned that, because again, I think that's why I thought like this would have been linked more to Rebels, because it was just like, hang on, like, isn't this? I thought it was way after. I thought this was much more in the original trilogy sort of era.
Yeah, no, this is. I thought that myself, and I looked it up, and apparently, like on the official Star Wars or official Star Wars like website, it says like it only takes place like 1 to 2 years after Revenge of the Sith. So it's like right up on there. I'm like,
how weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with that, I'm like, I don't know. Unless you are super far away from Coruscant and you just haven't often seen a Jedi, but even Two Boots, he says like, oh, in the past we would have called the Republic and they would have sent a Jedi to help. And so when he's like trying to convince Lawson, the captain here, to like call the what's it called? It's called the Empire. Like, so I have a hard time believing that people would just forget about the Jedi that quickly. It bugs me that they keep on trying to push that narrative.
There's also some things where, like, if you think about sort of wars that have happened in the real world, and prejudices that come from that, having droid cops after the Clone Wars seems
That's a good
surprising.
point. That's actually a very good point. I guess they're cheaper than hiring, or like, a safer alternative than hiring like actual people.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have a good point, because he does mention that Two Boots, like the chief comes to him, and Two Boots, he says that Two Boots went over his head and like tried to ask for imperial, got imperial like assistance without consulting him. And like, there's even a point where he says, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Captain Lawson. It was not my intention to overstep your authority." And he kind of like has a little bit of like a tone to him. I'm like, "What the fuck, droid? Like, you are a tool."
Yeah. Like, you are owned by the department. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's like, screw you. I'm like, I like Richard Iowade, but shut the hell up.
I mean, to be fair, that is happening more and more with devices, like how my phone thinks that it gets to tell me when I'm listening to my music too loud, and I have not found the setting to stop it doing that, and I'm mad about it.
Yeah, no, I do appreciate when it tells me I'm too close to the screen. Like, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm probably fucking my eyes up a lot. But yeah, no, when it tells me my headphones are too loud, I'm like, that's for me to decide, not you.
Yeah. I'm like, motherfucker, I spent a lot of time in small fucking venues playing gigs with no earplugs in. Look, what I've done to my ears is my business. Don't you be coming and talking to me about it.
I mean, pretty much. So how did you feel about this scene? Like, we get to see like his son is like, I guess, I don't know, a lacrosse star or something like that.
Yeah, he plays
And it's just
space
like,
lacrosse. Yeah.
yeah, my dad never gets to come to my games because he's space cop, and he's always working with the syndicate, and like, or like, shit like that. I'm like, I didn't necessarily need to have like this, human story for the captain. I'm like, nah, you're fine. I don't need to know that you're a struggling father, and that, again, your wife is with the Empire.
Sometimes it works against it a bit more, because like, it shows some things that are just kind of like ridiculous and pull you out a bit. Like the fact that he turns up, and it's like, oh, he's been working all night. And obviously, okay, there was like an emergency, and he was actually physically there. So you can see like that's how he's been working all night, and maybe his shift was just all night, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But he like gets home, like has one conversation with his son, and then goes back out. And I'm like, no, my guy. Like,
yeah, that's not how that works, Brent. I understand you're the head guy, and you did tell the robot to call him if there's any leads or anything like that, or like I remember there's one scene where he's like, "Call me if you need anything," and he goes to his son's game, and he's there for like 2 minutes, and he's like, "Oh, well, you better be called out again." I'm like, yeah, no, he is like a very neglectful father.
And I know
he's the most overworked cop.
I've definitely said in the past that, like, oh, hey, there's loads of stories that you can tell. So, like, just tell me a story I've already heard, but do it in a Star Wars setting.
Mm-hmm.
And I slightly stand by that. I think that's a good place to start to get new and interesting stories in Star Wars of things you haven't quite seen. But I think this will ultimately come down to my issue with this show so far. Is it is sewn together from bits of stuff that I have seen 100 times before. And like, the cop who can't make time for his family, and he's divorced because he could never make time for his family, so his wife left him, and that kind of shit. I'm just like, yeah,
he's also got underground contacts, and apparently had a relationship with one of his, because we have this alien chick who he goes and gets info from. And then afterward, he's done with it. She's like, "Oh, well, I'm free tonight if you want to go get dinner." I'm like, dang, man.
Yeah, he has to go see the shadow broker. And then she's like, "Hey, do you remember when we got it on board the Normandy? Like, we all used to call you Shepherd." It's just like, okay, man. Like, come on. Just...
No, that was, I mean, again, I think that you're absolutely right. That's kind of like, again, I wouldn't say crooked cop, but like the anti-hero, kind of like the cop who doesn't play by the rules kind of thing. Like, that's definitely like the Jack Bauer, the like he's doing like the renegade cop that also kind of had like, oh yeah, I seduced this lady in the underworld one time, and now she's my informant.
Yeah, it like if it wasn't for this being a kid show, there would be a scene where he goes to like talk to like a crack whore with a heart of gold, and she gives him information, and then he gives her like $100 is like, hey, you get somewhere safe to sleep tonight. Like,
You ever see what's it called, True Detective? It would have been that kind of thing. He goes and gets information from her, and then she tries to sleep with him, but he's like, no, I just want to buy some quaaludes from you. Like something like that. But yeah, so it's again, it's like it's stuff I've already seen just in a Star Wars setting. This is more what I was feeling like this show was going to be, and especially when they showed that there was going to be this girl. I'm like, he starts telling her like, "Oh, I'm not keeping you here. You can leave anytime you want." Like he's trying to get her to use the Force to like exit her cell, and like he's trying to be her mentor, essentially. And he's trying to like do his like his weird backhanded way of like becoming a Jedi or like a Sith master.
see, this is what I find a little bit disappointing. Because I'm like, I think, and from the things I'd heard about Maul, I was like, oh, it seems kind of cool because it's like he kind of gives up all this shit. And
Mm-hmm.
in this, he hasn't. I'm like, oh, I think it would be more fun if you were just like, no. I'm a gangster with superpowers. I'm not trying to find an apprentice and do all this stuff. I got superpowers and I'm going to run this city.
See, that's kind of the weird thing is that yeah, that's all he does. Like as much as I like Maul, his whole character arc, and that's all he does. It's like he in the Fall of Mandalore, he tells Ahsoka, "Is like, hey, like you and me, we could join together. We can go kill Sidious. Like Anakin Skywalker, this very moment is being like corrupted. You and me could go stop him and go like together we can save the galaxy." And then he's doing the same thing with her in Rebels, he does the same thing with Ezra Bridger. He's like, Sidious is the real, the Empire is we can stop the like, and he keeps on trying to find an apprentice. Like, I think he's just lonely.
Again, this is where like I'm concerned sometimes about Star Wars things because I think they're really built into like, I know we have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the issue is because we already have Darth Talon as a character, so Filoni's like, well, we have to build that in somewhere. We have to get this working, which I think is kind of sad because I like all the stuff that is about him. Like, okay, I'm taking my revenge and I'm getting, I'm getting back at people. That's the stuff I'm interested in. I want this to be what the Book of Boba Fett sort of promised to be and then wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's more just like a crime story within Star Wars.
I mean, we definitely do get that here. Like when he attacks the Pikes, like when the like the Pike ship gets like they hack it and divert it to another planet, and have like the Mandalorians raid this place. Like he gets his own hallway scene, which I think is kind of badass. Like I really enjoy it. Like I like the most about this is how he doesn't once hit any of the walls. Like he's swinging it around, and at no point does he like slice up the walls or doing it. He's like super precise about it, and just like and is only attacking the dudes. Like I
That's
just think
true.
that's kind of a cool
Yeah.
little. It's a cool little nod to like how skillful he's supposed to be.
Well,
Whereas Darth Vader would just be sitting there.
I do like all of this stuff. I like all the stuff of him, sort of taking over and like moments like that. I like that. I like the idea of Maul being like a character that is part of the Sith or was a Sith, but is focused on something else.
Mm-hmm.
So as we'll get into it more in the next couple of episodes, when he's having his very sort of, have you heard of Darth Plagueis the Wise sort of conversations with Devon, I'm like, I thought it'd be cooler if you didn't do this. Hang on, I'm just gonna have to step away for a second. I'm just gonna get something sorted, but I'll be back in a minute.
Don't always do your thing, and I will just go in to this. So yeah, but after that, like he gets his thing. He like takes the final guy out, and he tells him like, oh, all the the head boss is this guy, Mark Krim, and so he finds like he decides like he's gonna go take that guy out now. Like I like how every single thing that he ends up doing, like every guy he takes out leads him to another guy he's gonna have to take out, and there's just it almost makes it seem like there's no end to Maul's like vendetta. Like he's always going to have another guy to take out, and then of course always he has Obi-Wan Kenobi, who's like the next one on his shit list. But yeah, like it's again like taking out the two other guys, the syndicate, like taking out the little guy led him to like having to take out the Pikes, and then now taking out the Pikes is going to lead him to having to take out Marg Krim. Taking out Marg Krim is going to lead him to somebody else, and then before you know it, like he's just like he's going to have the whole galaxy on his ass, and yeah, it's cool, but at the same time, it's like, dude, it's like it's a what is it? It's a farce because like it's Fubar. He's not gonna like it's not really leading to anything like productive because it's just going to lead to another and more and more death, which I'm assuming is kind of the point. Yeah, none of y'all are commenting. Where is everybody? Why aren't y'all commenting on the episode? Like, let me know what y'all thought, man. Like, God, like what? Why is it so quiet in here today? Like, first time in a long time we've been starting Star Wars stuff, and all y'all are just zip. Yeah, make sure my mic's up. Sorry, I had to make sure my mic was on because trying to riff and keep this thing going while Harrison is gone. Let me see here. Oh, you know what? While I'm waiting for him to come back, I'll do it. I'll give you guys a free one. I'll give you an oldie but a goodie.
My lord?
Stormtrooper.
My lord?
Stormtrooper.
My lord?
Stormtrooper.
My lord?
Yep.
My lord?
Uh-huh.
My lord?
Yo.
My lord? My lord?
Stormtrooper.
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 My lord?
Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper.
My lord?
Ugh.
My lord?
Go yourself.
My lord?
Go yourself.
My lord?
Go yourself.
My lord?
Go yourself.
Aw. What's up?
Oh, sorry about that. I was stalling for a minute because I ran out of things to riff about. But yeah, so I was before you left. I don't know if you heard any of that, but I was just saying that I think I think the scene is cool, and it's like, but this whole scene is kind of like, or it kind of just like leads to another point. Or I think his goal is overall pointless because he takes out the little guy and leads him to the Pikes. He takes out the Pikes and he says like, oh well, now everything you owned is now owned by this guy. It's the head boss, and so now he has to go take out another dude, which I feel like is going to lead him to have to take out another guy and then another. It's just like, dude, it's just going to be an endless line of death, and all you're going to end up doing is I wiped out all the fucking gangs, but it's like, yeah, but now there's nothing left. You can't be the king of the ashes.
Yeah, some real kind of like video game logic right there. It's like playing through God of War, and it's like, no, Kratos, you haven't gotten to me yet.
That's basically what he is. He's just Kratos. He's just burning it all down and saying screw it. I'm like, it's cool, and I'm all for it. I'm like, it's better than him being like, oh, I'm going to rebuild the syndicate. And I'm going to make it an honorable thing, and we're going to be good. And I love the sand people while I'm at it. Oh, we got Mojo Jojo in here. What's up? Says, I bet the Acolyte didn't even pay for the subway ticket. I don't even know what that means. Maybe not. All I know is the Acolyte was not very good. We can all agree on that. This is not the Acolyte, though. So yeah, but like anyway, this like after all the thing with the Pikes, we got Maul being a badass, and like the very final scene is Devin like escaping her cell, and again, I kind of like how like again the next episode goes right into that, like of like Maul training her kind of.
Yeah,
or like planting the seeds. He's starting to plant the seeds of like her being on his side.
Yeah, it feels like it's more of a test. So it's like he has to kind of test that she'll get out on her own, which I suppose in a way teaches him some things, both about like her use of the Force and her initiative and her willingness to sort of get herself out of the trouble without having to wait for somebody else. She's not waiting for her master to save her. She's like taking control of her own destiny, which is, I'd say, more of a Sith thing to do.
Exactly, like her resourcefulness and like how willing she is to fight. Like he also like at some point she grabs one of his lightsabers and like he decides to test her like combat ability as well.
Yeah, when we get to that, Maul is pretty fucking cool. Like, I think that's one of the things that happens is that there are bits of this show that I find uninspiring, but then almost every episode, Maul does something that's just blatantly fucking cool. And I kind of have to forgive it for a minute.
Like the first episode is he takes out the cops and he like when he reveals himself. The second episode it's his hallway scene. This episode it's this whole thing where he's like, yeah, he's again testing her with like a dark side version of like a test. Like I love this thing of him putting out the like he starts off all like samurai like drinking tea and stuff. And like and almost kind of like I like how his lightsaber's right there. He's almost daring her. He's like, come on, take it. Go on, you know you want to. Like it, yeah, it's very cool. The whole thing. At no point is he worried that she's like in a threat to him in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, he's got the complete confidence in this moment. But I like things like I like the fact that he's like, oh, right here. So she takes it, and then when he stands up and he puts out that lamp with the force is the coolest shit. It's just like, oh god damn it, Maul, you did it again.
What I like about this also is that it's kind of cool because it's like it kind of works the way. So if you had like a green or a red lightsaber, you could light up that whole freaking room. Like it would be bright as hell. But with a red lightsaber, it does kind of make it like your field of vision isn't very far. Like I kind of like that because the red light it's more like what is it, diffusing or like there's a reason they use that for like the nighttime like lamps or something like that.
Yeah, and yeah, there are various things to it. Yeah, it doesn't give you the same amount of glare and. I think partly because like there's just literally less visible light coming off of a red because it's at the end of the spectrum.
Yeah, so I just kind of like that because it just makes the whole thing work a little more. Because like even with the lightsaber, you wouldn't have a whole lot of light like to see around you. So him hiding in the shadows is kind of just like awesome. Like I also enjoy that every time like she swings it around, like you'll see him behind her, she'll swing it back around, he'll just be gone. So yeah, let me see here. Yeah, we jump off from that because we come back to that a couple of times, but we jump off of it again. This dude is I think this is the scene where he like tells Two Boots again like we're not calling the Empire, and this is the episode where he actually goes around him and tries to tell the chief, like he tries to matter. Let me see here. And he gets put on desk duty because I'm like, dude, at that point just reprogram him or like give him a memory wipe. Do something like that.
Yeah, it's good. And I can sort of see this thing of like, okay, if you're gonna have like machines like droids doing it, they probably do just have protocols of like, well, no, I have to call the Empire because it's built into me to do it. But then presumably like Two Boots wouldn't be the only issue. You'd sort of have every machine and every like data pad that you entered it into could be like going, hey, we have flagged this.
Yeah, would you like to call the Empire? No. Are you sure you wouldn't like to call the Empire? No.
Exactly. Yeah, that.
Yeah, no, like that. That's a good point. Like, and there's a lot of droids in that department. Like, they would all have that, presumably have that information. So it would make sense that they like more than one of them would be like pestering him to call the Empire. Unless Two Boots is just like he happens to be like the OCD droid who's just like really on the rules, and the rest of them are just like, nah, we're good.
He's called Two Boots because of the amount of licking he does.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that. So yeah, but like, this is probably the best scene, like the best parts of the whole episode is her like running around trying to find an escape, and he even says like I kind of like this part of like even armed, your instinct is to run. Like he starts like messing with her head and telling and like planting those seeds of like the dark side and like fighting rather than running away.
Yeah,
like I bet you in episodes 5 and 6 we're probably gonna have her telling her master like, hey, we need to fight back. Like, why don't we fight the Empire? There's Inquisitors or something like that. Why don't we go fight them?
Yeah.
Like
it does feel like there's gonna be some sort of confrontation between Maul and Ducky, and I feel like Ducky's not going to come well out of it.
Yeah, no, he's definitely going to die. Like we have one fight that happens in I think the next episode, but yeah, I think Master Ducky he's not long for this world. But yeah, so let me see. What were some of your like takeaway, or what were you like? Give me your impressions of this stuff, or like how you felt about it.
I mean, so like him, like I say, that moment of him putting out the light was super cool. And I enjoyed that. Overall, though, this stuff doesn't interest me as much. It's very done. and I think for this story, and I feel like that's often what I'm finding with Star Wars stuff now. I'm just like, come on, guys, like you gotta give me something different. You gotta give me something else, something that I can go, wow, yeah, okay, cool. And especially, I think for it to be in the animated shows, because in so many of these big series now and franchises, the animated space is a way you can experiment and you can do something different. And Filoni, I think, really benefited from that back in the era of Clone Wars and the era of Rebels, and making all of those shows. And he sort of, it's almost how he sort of backdoored his way into being the head of Star Wars, and you know, the guy who sort of has the most creative control within Star Wars.
Yeah.
So then to do something like this, I'm just like, yeah, I know, man. This is every book. This is every book and every movie and every TV show. We have to have somebody talking vaguely mystically while a young person is like, "What? No, I don't understand." And I don't
You
care.
do have a point there. I think what I appreciate about it is that it's not just another Jedi thing. It's not just Yoda talking to another Jedi being like, "Oh, well, you know, try not, do or do not," kind of thing. I appreciate that it's actually using the dark side as opposed, like, you know what I mean? Like, because we've had,
Yeah.
you're right, we've had a million Force visions, we've had a million like teaching moments of like a Jedi to student. I just appreciate that it's doing the dark side now as opposed to just the light side.
What I
So
actually, do you know
go
what I'm
ahead.
hoping for? What would be really nice would be if, rather than it being this kind of like Anakin had, you know, the kind of seduction over to the dark side
Mhm.
from Maul, I would rather see like a bit like we had in, I think, oh, was it Tales of the Jedi, where we saw a young Qui-Gon and Dooku
And
before he turned.
yeah.
And like I really love that one, because I love the change you see in Dooku in that, of like Dooku just looking at some real injustice and then being like, nah, fuck this, I've got superpowers.
Mhm.
I'm not putting up with this. Um, I would like to see maybe that happen more with Devon. Like, let's say, you know, rather than it being Maul that kills Daki, let's say the cops kill him. Let's say Two Boots does it. Two Boots just guns
Oh.
him down, and he's not
Well,
even with a real warrant. And
see, what I'm thinking it's going to be the Inquisitors, maybe assisted by the local authorities, but I'm definitely thinking it's going to be the Inquisitors.
that's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah, now that the Empire has shown up, we're probably going to get some Inquisitor action. You're right. I didn't think of that. But yeah,
Yeah,
something
like
like that, and so that she is more on her own terms, wants to come to the dark side, and then is sort of, you know, accepts Maul.
that would be interesting. I'd be down for that if they were to like you know, do something along those lines of like her, or like instead of her, like her going to Maul willingly as opposed to just being like seduced by the dark, like she actually like seeks him out or something like that because she gets angry about her master dying somehow and it's not
Mm.
Maul's fault. Like that would be kind of cool. I'd be down for that. I'm curious, how do you feel about this scene? Because you mentioned it's been done, like the Force scenes and the Jedi scenes. How do you feel about like there's like warehouse raids, like we get to see like the cops coming in and like taking on, you know, the syndicate and whatever. Is this more what you're looking for, or
I
what is it?
Yeah, yeah. I think this is interesting. I think this is much more of an area that is not as explored within the realm of Star Wars, and so I think we can have more fun with it, and seeing how things like this, like, okay, right, droid cops, like, how do droid cops work? What are they like?
Mhm.
You know, we got some great moments in Andor. We had great moments with the uh, KX units and
Yeah.
strangling him, and you just saw more of like, okay, this is how it works in that world. So I'm like, let's do more of that. So, you know, Two Boots kind of running around the place, being a bit of an action hero almost with it. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, again, it shows why they have more droids as opposed to humans. Like it does kind of make sense because you know they are useful like as far as like combat units or something like that, and saves a human life. But yeah, no, I agree. It's really cool. It's a good scene. I kind of like these areas. Again, it's one of these this part I was talking about it earlier where he shows up in his son's like lacrosse game for like all of 2 minutes and then gets called back into the field. I'm like, dude, okay, great. I feel like what we're leading to is his son is going to end up joining the Empire or something. Like, Dad, I got a scholarship to the to the academy. They're going to let me be a lacrosse player in the Imperial Navy.
yeah, they're going to pay for my college tuition. All I have to do is serve 3 tours as a stormtrooper. Yeah.
Like, I'm going to Tatooine for my first tour.
Nice. He's being sent to a safe little position on Alderaan.
Oh God, that's even worse. See, I was implying that he was gonna kill Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, but yours is so much worse. No, but like again, he's there for all of 2 minutes. Then we have Master Daki come in and talk to him. It's like again, I do kind of like this thing of like them kind of working behind the scenes of like because that does fit with the whole like narrative they've been doing of like Jedi doing like secret good deeds or having like the underground Jedi railroad or whatever. Like it would make sense that they would have like secret connections.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I like that scene. And I feel like that's the only reason he has him come to the lacrosse game is so that way they can have this go down.
Yeah. I mean, like I can't say that his family story like endears me to him any more than I am already. I'm like, I get it. He's an overworked cop. That's kind of all I needed. I don't need to know that he's sad as well.
Exactly. And then we get to see him like he leaves his son's game. The son is like, "No, Dad." I'm like, okay, yeah, we get it. The son is he's gonna join the Empire. He's gonna go be with his mom, who's like a high-ranking Imperial officer or something like that.
Yeah, and then like the next day, his son makes a wish on his birthday cake, and now his dad can't tell a lie. And we have to, we get some great comedy scenes where he's trying to interrogate some member of one of the Mandalorians that they captured, but he has to entirely tell the truth and he can't bluff.
Oh man, I love that Jim Carrey movie. But yeah, so yeah, coming back to Devin and Maul again, like we get like it just I feel like we didn't need to be bouncing back and forth. I feel like we could have done both of these scenes. We could have done this whole scene by itself and then had the Captain Lawson doing his thing because it just kind of takes me out of it, like bouncing, having to go back and forth with it.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Like I might get a bit even more tired of what Maul and Devin were doing if it was all in one big go.
Maybe it was just for maybe they didn't want it to be too boring. But I'm like, again, I would prefer it to be as opposed to just being like, all right, 10 seconds on them, now back to Lawson. Now 10 seconds on them, now back to Lawson. I'm like, okay, guys, like we just get to the point, Maul. Like you want her to be your apprentice. Can you hurry up?
That is.
Let me see. What were you?
Which are we at here? Is it this one in the next episode?
So yeah, this is where they send the little guy. Like this is part of Maul's plan where they send the little dude to go like appease the Pikes and be like, oh yeah, I brought your money and we killed Maul and we did all like. All right, so this is what I wanted to talk about at one point is that like they come back to the Pikes like this is like the head Pike dude who like is running the show. They trick him like he's like, oh yeah, I'll bring in the money and I'll bring in all like the the payment and everything and make amends. And when he does, then we get to have this part where let me see if I can jump forward a little bit. Oh yeah, maybe not. Well, all right. There's one part where I think he tells him like I think it must be in the next episode because there's a part where he tells them like, oh yeah, I took out Maul, and it's like another Zabrak who's using a lightsaber.
Yes, yeah, I think that is in the next episode. Yeah, you're right. No, okay. So we have to. I think does Devin get away then? Or
she doesn't get away. Like yeah, the last scene we have is her about to escape. Like she's finally gotten to the like she's found a way out. She got out of the cavern or whatever. But the very last thing is like before he's like you didn't think I'd let you leave, did you? And then he starts a lightsaber duel with her.
Right. Okay.
Like yeah, that's the very last scene is her about to escape to I love how she's about to escape to the lights, and then the only thing standing between her and the light is Darth Maul. The heavy-handed symbolism is real. But yeah, so and again, so the reason I wanted to skip ahead to this part is because I feel like that's why Maul has Zabraks around is so he can do this kind of stuff.
Right.
Like he
Okay.
can
Yeah.
have like he can have one of his guys like attack them and like do his bidding, and like they think that they might be able to. It's kind of like a, let me see, it's kind of like a Negan thing. It's like, I am Negan. I'm Negan. You know, it's like they all identify as Negan, so that way you don't know who the actual boss is,
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
or something like, I am Spartacus.
I was going to say, like, how the world has moved on, that it's no longer I am Spartacus.
I was trying to, I was trying to think of something that like people would actually understand these days. But yeah, it's like he uses. I feel like that's why he has Zabrax, so he can have decoys. He's doing a Padme. He's doing a Padme Amidala.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Which,
like,
I don't know. The only thing that did you have this the same way as I had, of like the moment he is stunned, you're just like, yeah, but that's not Maul.
Yeah, no, I mean,
like this didn't happen. This is all part of the plan. Like,
yeah, see, I was pretty sure that wasn't Maul to begin with, because, or I guess he must have been. Oh no, okay, yeah. We kind of skipped it because he did let her go, but he ended up getting his lightsaber back first. Like that was my bad. Okay, so yeah, because I was like, yeah, but Maul wasn't there. But yeah, no, the second he stunned him, I'm like, yeah, there's no way that's Maul, because he would have seen that coming. But it was a cool little, like, again, side reveal. If you're again a younger audience, if you're not really like ready for it, if you're not seeing it coming, it's kind of cool to have him be like, have the actual reveal be like that he's, you know, in the background the whole time. Like
he does a Last Jedi move right here.
Oh,
like,
that's right.
Manipulating the lightsaber to hurt someone like from afar. It was great. It's kind of in a more cool manner, but he does do that.
And that is kind of a badass thing of like him pulling the lightsaber back to him and then putting them together and you know, back to his normal like thing of being a, you know, what is it, I forget what they call that form, but the bow staff form.
Yeah, no, he played Jedi Survivor and he was like, damn, that's cool, I should do that.
I mean, pretty much. And so yeah, like I feel like it's cool and all. Like I like how we're having him like take back his thing, but I don't necessarily need to see Darth Maul play gangster. Like I'd be happy just to see Darth Maul like trying. I'd be happy to see Darth Maul trying to like take down Darth Sidious or something like that. You know.
I don't know. I think partly because for me, there's the obvious thing of like, well, he doesn't. I know he doesn't. Mm-hmm. So I kind of don't feel that invested in that sort of story. Whereas like, yeah, like a bigger story of like, I don't know, of like, okay, let's deal with something bigger. Like I don't think they mentioned the Black Sun, but as far as I know, we haven't had like a TV thing that's brought in like Prince Zizor or anything like that.
No.
So, you know, like start bringing in those extended universe characters, have, you know, like real. I would be more interested in like, you know, yeah, it's more elaborate heists and schemes to grind his way or kill his way to the top of the criminal food chain. Would be more interesting to me than to kind of spend my time looking at yet another conspiracy to kill Darth Sidious that won't happen because I keep seeing them. I've seen all, you know, I've seen them. This is not the first unknown Sith that has done this, you know, like, especially not, it's not the first one. It's not even the first one voiced by Sam fucking Witwer. So like, like, do I actually need that?
No, you do have a point there. I'm like, I guess we don't need to see another like rule of two kind of thing going on. But again, I don't know. Maybe we just didn't need another Darth Maul thing. I enjoy Darth Maul, but it seems like a lot of like what I'm enjoying about the show is like the rule of cool, is that him just being a badass and not necessarily the story. I'm enjoying the lightsaber duels or him like just mercilessly cutting dudes down.
I think that's what I think would be way more interesting. I'm just like, you know, and I think there are things that this show has done that are a good move, like putting it on like a planet we haven't seen before. Great. Mm-hmm. You can establish a bunch of stuff that doesn't really have to touch the other stories. And then you can just fill it with rule of cool stuff, you know, and like I would find it way more interesting. Like I'd also find it really interesting to see like from the perspective of like, okay, we're a bunch of, you know, like just gangs, we've got lots of money, but we're used to dealing with other guys with blasters. How do we deal with the Jedi? And it'd be fun to see, like what little scheming toe rag in the criminal underworld figures out, like, okay, this is what we do.
Seriously, like trying to see the criminal underworld trying to take out Darth Maul, like watching them work together to try to take out Darth Maul would be even cooler than watching Maul, like, systematically take them all. Like, it'd be cool for them all to try that and fail. And then, like, I would enjoy watching that much more.
Yeah. I think that would be fascinating rather than, like how in that episode it is like, well, I know that's not Maul because Maul isn't going to lose this fight.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, obviously he survives to like Rebels. We know that he's going to survive this whole thing.
Yeah.
I guess, like, see, what I'm really interested in is it's been something that they teased back in Solo. I would like to see how he met Kira. Like, how did he run into Kira? How did he, like, that's much further down the line. It's like, I think that's a good, like, 20 some odd years from now, but still though, I would like to know how he met Kira and how he got that whole thing going. But, I feel like, yeah, they're going to do a lot more Darth Maul stuff before the end of this whole Star Wars experiment. Anyway, so yeah, we jump back to Devin. She escaped and then got back to Master Daki. And like, again, she, like, it's like the starts of it. Like, she tells him, like, well, we have, like, Maul's here. We have to stop him. Like, we have to do something. Like, we have to act. We have to, we can't just be hiding anymore. And he tells her, like, no, because, like, the Empire, like, if he's here, the Empire is not far behind. Like, they're going to show up. We need to get the hell out of here, because he knows that the Empire means Inquisitors. And
yeah,
so that's what I feel like is it. Unless it's Darth Vader again, and like if they drop Darth Vader in there, that's going to be crazy.
I mean, will it be crazy or will it be just like predictable? Will it just be like, oh, cool, yeah, sure.
I guess, but I'm like, I want to see an Inquisitor instead. I'm pretty sure I saw like teasers of that, like, dude with the night mask that we saw in Ahsoka.
Okay, yeah, I'm down for that. I'm down for seeing that guy. Like, expanded on him, because he was one of my favorite parts of Ahsoka.
Agreed. I always loved seeing a new Inquisitor, so I'm like, but yeah, so she convinces him, like, they send a message to Lawson letting him know that, like, hey, Maul is here and he's dangerous, like, this is where he's hidden, and yada yada yada, like, let him know. And then they just sit back and watch and make sure that the police aren't in over their head. Which I do kind of enjoy this part of, like, them rushing in there with, like, a whole SWAT team, and like the interaction that Lawson has with Maul, where he's like, oh, well, that you're outnumbered and obviously overwhelmed, and we can take you out in a heartbeat. And he's like, I like how Lawson's like, I don't see it that way. Like, I do appreciate how he's like, he's not intimidated by someone with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate that. And also, that's most of his force is droid, so that's probably why.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, fuck it. I don't care.
But yeah, like, I do kind of enjoy this, how, like, the cops do kind of hold, like, they somewhat hold their own against these guys, even though, like, they are somewhat outnumbered. Like, at least I believe so. I only watched this. I watched this last episode only one time, and the other ones I watched a couple of times. But yeah, like, he doesn't, like, he tells him, like, hey, we're gonna, like, I'll operate on this planet. You just let me do it. You don't call the Empire, and I'll stay out of your way. You stay out of mine, kind of thing. And, like, he offers a deal to the cops of, like, hey, we'll mutual, like, partnership kind of thing. And obviously he tells them no.
Yeah.
At which point, that's when the whole fight breaks out. We got the insane clown posse Zabrak with the fucking like, he absolutely looks like a juggalo with a minigun.
Oh yeah, he does, doesn't he? It's that goddamn.
Like, I love it. But yeah, so we have the fight breaks out. We have them having, like, their whole thing happen, and then obviously Master Daki shows up, and we get to have I mean, I was pleasantly surprised with this. I was happy that they didn't wait until, like, the very last episode to actually have, like, a lightsaber duel. Like, I don't know how you felt about this, but I was super about it.
It was interesting to see, like, and especially a master and apprentice versus Maul, because historically it hasn't worked out well for Maul.
That's true. So, I mean, that is true. historically that's how Maul like ended up as half a man, but also that's like that is how Qui-Gon died. So I'm like, it doesn't historically it doesn't look good for Daki either.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, do you ever remember anything about Master Daki and any other stuff? He's gonna die. He's absolutely gonna die.
Yeah,
Like there's
yeah.
no way that doesn't
Duck is
happen.
entirely expendable.
But yeah, so I did appreciate the lightsaber duel. I appreciated like the kind of a callback to the Duel of the Fates, and like that whole like Qui-Gon Obi-Wan battle. And I just yeah, it's just kind of cool to me. I do appreciate how like uh even here he's a little more like methodical. He's not even like trying to kill them. He's just toying with them. Like he's just trying to like keep them busy basically.
You don't have the same sort of anger that you had in the Duel of the Fates. Like, Duel of the Fates definitely had that thing of like Darth Maul's very skilled, but he is just intent on murdering them. Like he doesn't have the sort of the careful thought of it, which famously that moment when Qui-Gon meditates and he just stalks, waiting for the laser shield to come down.
Exactly, and then also, I mean, he also has got a little wide. Like we just saw that part where like Daki kicked his leg and like kind of and busted the hinge a little bit, like probably busted a little bit of, like the mechanics or the robotics. He's like, so he also is like a little wiser because he's like he understands that if you underestimate your opponent, that's how you end up getting chopped in half. But yeah, he is still like you can tell that he is still very much an aggressive fighter, but he's not. But he's not trying to like kill them. Or at the very least, not yet. Right now, he's
a good point. Like, if this thing was true in any manner, like at some point when someone was like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Like Darth Maul would just go, listen, I don't have a dick anymore. Do you understand what it is like to try and find meaning once you don't have a dick anymore? I don't even have a butthole anymore. Like, like there's a lot going on with me right now. So I'm going to do this because this makes me happy.
I didn't think. Yeah, no, that's true. No wonder he was pissed off at Kenobi for 30 years because he doesn't have a dick. That is the face of a man.
I look real badass and cool to you right now. Where do you think my dookie's going? It goes into a bag. Okay? I have to change out my bag like I'm a fucking vacuum cleaner. Okay?
See, I always just assumed that he like used the Force to like absorb all the nutrient. Like he doesn't waste anything because the Force makes it have to be part of his. Like yeah, no, I was just assuming that the Force sustained him.
It's like how vultures can like digest bones. like he just
basically, like he just turns all food into like nutrients and it just kind of absorbs via the Force. Yeah, he doesn't have Dookie. But yeah, no. So yeah, again, this is the face of a man who is a eunuch and has been stewing about it for a very long time. but yeah, so like he's just kind of toying with them. Like he gets into a battle, but he's not really like trying to kill them just yet. Like he's trying to keep her. I feel like especially her, he's trying to keep Devin alive so he can like again win over an apprentice. Like and he's just waiting until the Inquisitors show up to do so. Let me see here. But yeah, like the cops, they end up winning. Maul and his guys end up running away. And let me see here. That's pretty much the end. Lawson lets Daki and Devin run away. Like he lets them escape. And the final thing, the final part we have here is with Two Boots. He's like, "Oh, sorry, I deactivated you." And he's like, "No, it's no okay. Sorry that I hope you can forgive me for what I did." And the last I love this last shot where we get like everything is just being blacked out by this giant fuck off ship. Like
and like everyone's little alarms going, all their beepers are going off, like something is happening. And then what looks to be like a Star Destroyer or some similar ship.
Yeah, like the first gen Star Destroyer. So I mean, here's my question for you. We only have a few minutes left or a little bit of time, but here's my question for you. Do you think we see like actual stormtroopers, or are they still clone troopers?
It's a good point, that.
Because if it's only a couple of years, like they still should be some clones.
Yeah, there should. I don't know. Part of me saying stormtroopers just to sort of make it clear that it's post Clone Wars. Clone Troopers would make sense to still see them. Maybe this will be like some of the earlier days where like we've got stormtroopers being led by clones.
Ooh, that'd be cool. So yeah, I'm like, I don't mind either way. I'm just curious on what do you think? Like, are we going to get a variant of clone or like stormtrooper, or do you think we're going to be getting just the generic like stop that ship, blast them kind of guys?
I think it's probably going to be stop that shit, blast them, but we could be surprised.
I mean, I'd be down for like what are they called? Not the Death Troopers, the black ones, the ones from Rogue One.
Yeah,
I think they are called Death Troopers. Or
yeah,
like,
I think they might be Death Troopers. Yeah,
yeah. No, I'm looking for. I would love to see those. I would love to see. Yeah, like the Inquisitors. Obviously, I'm looking forward to. And yeah, So I guess we'll end it with this. Like, where do you rate these 4 episodes? Because I thought they were pretty good. I thought like I'd give them a solid like 3, maybe 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, definitely. I said at the beginning that they are not bad by any means. I haven't watched these going like, I've never thought anything in it was bad. I've thought these are very watchable. Like they're well made, they're well put together. I don't think that the story particularly inspires me. So like I can't tell you that I'm super like, God, I've got to see what happens next. Like, yeah, wow, like this is great. But there have been plenty of other stories where I've just been like, oh my God, just get on with it. I'm so bored of this. And this show has not done that to me.
See, I appreciate that at least. Like the story may not be like super deep, but at least like they keep enough cool scenes and enough like action and like really cool stuff to keep you like entertained long enough to want to watch the next episode. And they're not like an hour-long episode, so you're not sitting there like, fuck, this is dragging. Come on.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah,
I appreciate that.
Like if it had been an hour-long episode and the 2 minutes at the lacrosse game had been 15 minutes, that'd be a different story. I'm just like, yeah, I get it. You're sad because you don't spend enough time with your son. I don't care.
Yeah,
but
and I'm glad that they just gloss right over. Like it's annoying when it happens, but at least they don't linger on it. It's like the stuff with the sun is very few and far between.
Yeah,
I'll be a little annoyed if the next episode. Oh, yeah, I'll be a little annoyed if the next episode doubles down on that. And like now we get because the wife is obvious. I feel like the wife is obviously going to be a big thing. Like Lawson's ex-wife is going to be there, and she's going to have like jurisdiction over Janix or some such.
Yeah, there's going to be something of like Lawson's going to be doing a thing, like something important, trying to find out where Maul's gotten to, and then eventually, yeah, 2 bits going, Lawson, you have to go see your wife. She's here.
Dude, that was like the best Richard Ayoade voice I've ever heard. That is awesome. but yeah, no, he's definitely that's definitely going to happen. It's going to be like we're going to have to deal with that nonsense for a little bit, and I'm just like, I got to tell you, I don't. If we have a thing of like him and his wife reconciling, I do not care. Skip. But yeah, so how would you rate it? I say for all 4 episodes as a whole, like I don't want to take them episode by episode, but for all of them as a whole, I'll give it a good 3.5. It's like so far, the series is not bad. It like you said, definitely watchable. Definitely like slaked that Star Wars thirst.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'm kind of surprised you've gone with 3.5. I'm almost tempted to say it's a 4 because it's good. Like I say, it is good. I don't think it's hitting with me like as much as I think it's going to hit with other people. And like I know there are big Maul fans out there, and there are people who know all the story and are really going to appreciate the fact that it's Dave Filoni and that he cares about the story so much, and they're going to be happy to see Sam Witwer back as his voice. So I think this is really solid. And if you were thinking like, oh, maybe this will be good, I think check it out. I think you'll enjoy it.
I would absolutely agree. And yeah, the only reason I say 3.5 is because I'm like, I just want to see the story go somewhere more. I want to see something like payoff with it. And maybe we'll see a Maul Shadow Lord season 2, in a year from now. But I don't know. All I know is that it's not bad. It's worth the watch. If you are missing Clone Wars, or if you're one of the people who was all into the Bad Batch or into like the Siege of Mandalore stuff, it's definitely going to scratch that itch for you. And just Sam Witwer is always fun. He's always a good choice in a Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
And when he shows up, you know at least that someone really cared about Star Wars and making this good Star Wars in this production.
I would agree. So that's another thing. Real quick, the last 5 minutes I want to talk. You heard the news, right? That I think it's like Kathleen Kennedy has officially stepped down, or she's going to step down later this year, and like Dave Filoni is going to take her like position.
Yes, yeah, I have heard of this. Yeah, which makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
I don't know what it's going to be like. I mean, because like Kathleen Kennedy's a strange figure, I suppose, given that Kathleen Kennedy has been a producer on some of the greatest movies and like people's most favorite movies ever, but has not had anywhere near the success when it came to
With
running
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So I don't. So like whether Dave Filoni will be able to win because he has such a deep love of Star Wars and is so deeply tied into the story and the canon, maybe that'll really help. Or he's not a producer necessarily, or not in the same way, and doesn't have the CV that Kathleen Kennedy had. So I'd be fascinated to see if we notice a big change when he comes in.
I hope so. I hope it doesn't just become like the MCU, because that's what I'm worried about for Mandalorian and Grogu. Is I'm worried it's just going to be like the Star Wars Avengers, that movie, and I very much don't want it to just become that.
Yeah, I think we need some big change. So in a way, it makes me think that Dave Filoni coming in might not help because he's been so much a part of the whole system for a long time. Whereas I think at the moment we need things to be shaken up, because I think Disney in particular, obviously because of the MCU, they are very tied into that model. And have been sort of riding high on the idea that they were the ones who kind of perfected that model and did it the best. And shat all over DC with how well they did it. But that model is no longer really working. The new MCU movies, I don't think they're necessarily really bad, but they are just not working in the same way that they used to.
Speaking of, at some point, maybe I don't know if we ever will, but you should definitely check out what's it called? Born Again, Daredevil Born Again season 2. I think it's significantly better than the first season.
Okay, I have watched a couple of episodes of it.
Oh,
yeah, I haven't been convinced so far, but yeah, sure.
I don't know. I've been enjoying it so far. I think it got some cool stuff in the first couple episodes. I think that it gets better in the fourth episode, particularly. It's really cool. There's a cool little Easter egg.
Okay, I'm amazed you're able to watch it, because when I was watching it, I thought part of the problem of it's not that show's fault, but with the story they wrote. With the story they wrote being a watered down version of real life, it sort of made it kind of suck a bit,
Yeah, they were trying to be satire, but now it's just become like real life, and it just reminds me that life sucks.
Yeah, and and they kind of can't have done anything about it, like the whole what do they call them, the anti-vigilante task force or whatever. The AVTF or something like that. And oh my god, they're so crazy. They're really overstretching on their powers. Did they shoot a woman in a fucking car? Have they just been murdering civilians? Oh, they haven't. Oh wow. It's just frankly, fucking Daredevil, you've got it easy. Okay.
Yeah, it's could be much worse. Relax. But at any rate, but like I said, maybe we'll eventually talk about that. Maybe when the season is over, maybe we'll do a whole deep dive on the series. But I don't know. Until then, I wanted to ask. I think we're about ready to wrap it up on the Maul one. So thank you guys all for watching. Thanks for. There's not a whole lot of engagement this episode, which I'm a little bummed about. We had Aaron and we had Mojo Jojo in here. We had people watching, but we didn't really have anyone commenting, which again,
I was interested to know what other people thought about this show. So maybe people haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't, you're a little behind, because we'll be doing 5 and 6 next week, so tune in for that. And if you are watching this, comment below, let us know, and make sure you also like and subscribe and hit the bell notification, so you let us know what you thought of this. Let us know if it's it's scratching that Star Wars itch, or if you're still just waiting for the Mandalorian and Grogu to come out and you don't care about this. But yeah, no, Harrison, anything you want to mention or anything you want to talk about before we head out?
No, working on a few things. And I think there was one thing that came out, but I don't think it's public yet, so I can't tell you about it yet.
Oh, very good. Alrighty then, but I think that's going to wrap it up for us. This has been the Fulcrum Entertainment Podcast number 328. Again, make sure you tune in next week where we do episodes 4 or 5 and 6 of Darth Maul Shadow Lord. And yeah, thank you guys all for being here again. I have been Gilbs.
I've been Harry.
And again, this has been the Fulcrum Entertainment Podcast. We will see you all next week. Take it easy, everybody. And remember, we are all Fulcrum. Adios.